to tell the story of how women got their rights in America and how much they have accomplished and added to our country's history.
And you wouldn't believe this stupid history assignment. We have to answer this ridiculous question, which is like, who is it the most for women of today?
At my trial for having an improper minstrel, I was forced to stand for days. They didn't care I was well advanced into my 16th pregnancy.
And eat as much as a man when I can get it.
My goal was to create a story that was representative of all women, would cover all the issues, would show how women contributed to history, would show women's struggle for their rights. It wouldn't be predictable or pedantic, and it would be relevant to today's generation. So I decided to write a musical.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. The government annoys you, and you don't know what to do. Take off your clothes, and circle the White House too.
I mean, I learned a lot as I was going through all these books and learning these, like, you know, who made that flag that Francis Scott Key was looking at when he wrote the Star-Spangled Banner. And I learned something amazing about Billie Jean King. And I learned why the women's movement started in upstate New York. I learned that women fought in the Revolutionary War and in the Civil War. And I learned this incredible thing that Betty Friedan said. And I wanted to use it in the play. So she had passed away by the time I was writing the play at the end of 2009. And so I called up her estate and I said, well, can I use this quote? And they said, sure, but you'll have to pay us. So you'll have to let me know if you think it was worth it, the $300 to pay for that quote. We've been performing this play in California since 2010, and we've never used professional actors. We've only used volunteers because professional actors don't need equal rights. Women do.
Times come again no more.
When Lilly Ledbetter came to see this play in Irvine, California, she came backstage and all the actors were standing around, and she stood up and she said, I hope the woman playing me has a good Southern drawl. And our Amber, she's like shaking in her boots. Their icon is standing there, and Amber says, well, I try my best. When Lilly saw the play, she was in tears. I mean, she was standing at the end applauding the standing ovation along with everybody else there at that national convention. And she said, this play has to go to Washington. We were invited to perform at the California Suffrage Centennial in Sacramento, because in California, women got the right to vote in 1911. You know, some states got it earlier before the national. So we were invited there in 2011, and we did a performance at the Capitol, but then we also did a performance at the Crest Theater. Now this is a 900-seat auditorium, you know, which is very large. The control booth way back there. And I stood on the stage, you know, introducing the play. And then I mentioned that I'm the crew that runs the slides. So that as soon as I said the play would start, as soon as I got into that control booth way, way up there. So I got off the stage and I'm like running up the stairs, and I'm yelling, I'm still running, I'm still running. We were asked by the Army at Fort Irwin National Training Center in San Bernardino to bring the play to the soldiers. And it was amazing. I mean, 400 soldiers giving us a standing ovation. And then they all wanted to, like, shake our hands. And it became like this wedding reception. All the actors were all lined up, and every soldier, one by one, came over and shook the hand of every single actor. And it was mostly men, but there were some some women, there was a woman colonel who outranked her husband, and we just said to her, you know, congratulations, and she said, you know, it's because of the women in this play that she was able to achieve that status. I mean, I've learned that there's a line of social justice, and some people are above that line thanks to nothing that they've done. It's just, you know, by matter of what they are. And then some people are below the line of social justice. People like people of color, people of certain faiths, people of certain abilities, and women are all below this line of social justice. And as long as girls and women are valued less, fed last, not schooled, and
subjected to violence in and out of their homes, the potential for the human family to create a peaceful and prosperous world will not be realized. Women's rights are human